I don't know much, but I know this much. Last night was the nail in the coffin. Real Madrid 2, Chelsea nil at Stamford Bridge. We come up short once again. We score no goals. We bossed the game pretty much. Real Madrid don't even get out of second gear. They don't need to. At the end of the day, they never needed to. It was our job to put on pressure, to grab an early goal, take our chances, and we fell short. Guys, I'm very ill, so excuse my tone of voice, my nasally voice, but at the end of the day, I think I'm sick of watching Chelsea. I think I'm sick from watching how bad Chelsea are, how bad we've become, how toothless in front of goal we've become. It's just the same old story at the end of the day. Glorious chances fell to Gallagher, to N'Golo Kante, first of all Cucurella, and they were unable to take the chances. This is a common thread now because we don't have goal scorers at the end of the day. We've got some great footballers. I can't knock some of the individual talents of these boys. As a team, we're a shambles. But one thing pretty much 90% of this team lacks is goal scoring ability. And in a game where you need to score goals to win, we fall short over and over again. N'Golo Kante in that position, I mean, he's just not blessed with that killer instinct. He's a fantastic player. By the end of the day, he should do better. Cucurella coming in from the left, got all the time in the world, could maybe feint, could maybe drop the shoulder and give Courtois a second thing to think about and maybe trick him and put it in a different corner. No, takes the most obvious, telegraphs his idea, and Courtois is able to get a good save. And Courtois was good, but at the end of the day, every shot was at him. You know, we tried to get in Courtois' head a bit. I mean, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. I think he's gotten much better as a goalkeeper since he left Chelsea. I thought he was decent at Chelsea, but he's definitely transcended and been on an ascendancy since he's left Chelsea and started playing for Real Madrid. But at the end of the day, every shot was at him last night. Every single shot was down the middle. He barely had to move. You know, he's a big guy. He's got a massive wingspan. At the end of the day, if we put something in a top corner, in a bottom corner, he might not get to it. But chances are he probably will because he's that tall, he's that big, and he's that agile. But at the end of the day, it's just a real lack of goals that is just never seeming to go away because we've got no goals in defence. We can't even grab a cheeky goal from a corner. When was the last time Chelsea scored a goal from the corner or a set piece? All the delivery is absolutely awful. And it's baffling because I see Enzo whipping in some great balls, some great diags, spreading the ball across, finding the right passes. And when I saw him on a few more set pieces yesterday, I had a bit more confidence. I was like, finally, someone might be able to put this in a box and put someone's head on it. Wrong. He fumbled when it came to the set pieces, which is crazy. I don't want to get onto Enzo too much because I feel like he's done a good job so far in a Chelsea shirt. But there's just no... The delivery is awful. Cucurella, awful delivery. Reece James was well off it last night. He needs surgery. He's not in the mood to play football at the moment. You can see it. Unfortunately, it's been coming and it spills through the team. But defensively, we ain't even got goals anymore. We used to grab a goal. You know, I think our wing backs were our most potent threat for a long time. Ben Chilwell and Reece James would bag us goals. They were on like 5-6 goals at one point in the season, whether it were last season. You know, they have been our outsource of goals. They're misfiring. Chilwell, of course, was suspended, but Reece James looks well off it. And it's a shame because we've missed him so dearly and he's come back and he's put in some very tamed performances. He looks like his head is elsewhere, his head is down, his body language is not, it's not what we expect of Reece, you know, puts in 110 every week. And I just don't want to see him. Well, the season's over now, so there's no reason why he can't get on the surgery table and figure out what needs to be figured out and get that solved for next season. That's how I see it because James is really looking like a shadow of himself. I've never seen these sort of performances. You know, so the delivery was poor. No goals from defence. There's, you know, Fofana and Thiago Silva. I mean, Thiago Silva used to bag a goal every now and then. You know, used to come up from a set piece and we used to get a head on and we used to get a cheeky goal. Rudiger, we've lost the goals from him. Marcus Alonso, our step-in left-back from when him and Chilwell were fighting, he's gone. No goals from Cucurella whatsoever. You're going to see the basics from Cucurella. Cucurella is the most basic £60 million player I've ever seen in my life. All he does is press, run, pass sideways, and make poor deliveries, make poor decisions, always out of position. At the end of the day, you could potentially say that first goal is due to Cucurella's positioning. Chilwell getting sent off in the first leg is down to Cucurella in my eyes. I mean, it was stupid from Chilwell, but at the end of the day, Cucurella is, I mean, this is like maybe the 6th, 7th time in a video I've got onto him. He's poor. He's so poor. And you're going to have to eat that. I think I'd rather see the back of him sooner than later. He's not the type of player, mentality, talent that Chelsea need at the moment. He's going to send us, he's going to take us backwards, if anything. Midfield, at the end of the day, Enzo, N'Golo Kante and Kovacic. They don't scream goals. I'll give Enzo the benefit of the doubt. Hasn't had a full season. We don't know. He might nick a goal or two here and there. You know, he likes a long-range shot. Sometimes, like, they seem to somewhat, you know, be decent shots when he lets them off, but they haven't troubled a goalkeeper yet. They haven't scored any goals yet. So it's hard to say if we've got a goal scorer there with Enzo. I mean, we've got a great passer, but a goal scorer, I don't think so. He went close last night. Kante missed a glorious chance. Kovacic, if it's not a wonder goal, he ain't scoring. There's no goals coming from Kovacic that isn't something sublime. You know, we just lack all goals from the midfield. And you look at other teams, and they've all got goal-scoring midfielders. And it's crazy. It's like we've got 3 very defensive-minded midfielders, maybe barring Enzo, but Kova and Kante are not goal scorers. They really shouldn't be playing together. I'd take Kante, and we need another big man, another presence, someone who could score goals. A Zakaria-esque player. I'm not sure what his future holds at this point. At the end of the day, he's played no games. If I was him, I'd want to leave. I wouldn't want to hang around this absolute mess that's Chelsea at the moment. But there's no goals from midfield. So where are the goals coming from? And then you've got Gallagher and Havertz sort of in attacking positions. Gallagher, all right, he bags a few goals, but he's not that quality. He doesn't have the agility or the pace. He runs around a lot, which is probably something that you admire in his game, the effort he puts in. But at the end of the day, he's always caught flat-footed. He's always caught kind of not just you know, a fraction off where he needs to be because he doesn't quite have the pace or the agility to get into those positions. He's great with the ball, passing, but at the end of the day, he doesn't want the ball in front of him. He needs it to feet. And so many chances have been wasted trying to put the ball in front of Gallagher, who doesn't have the pace to catch up with the ball. And, you know, you beg the question why Mason Mount didn't start. You know, he's probably the only goal scorer we've got at this point. Like, Mason Mount, 10 goals, 11 goals last season, a few in the Champions League. He's our only goal scorer. And, yeah, he's had a bad season, but he does pop up with a goal here and there. And I don't know if it's the situation behind the scenes as to why Mount isn't starting, why isn't getting any game time. I thought when Lampard came in, Mount would start. I'm really surprised Mason Mount didn't start and Gallagher did. I think, you know, honestly, Cucurella and Gallagher just take our team back a big step. They're just not the starting. They should not be in a starting 11 for me. They're not the quality that we desire at this point. And Kai Havertz, you know what? I don't even want to get onto Kai Havertz at this point because he made himself busy. He did that false number 9 role quite well last night. I think he put himself about, you know, and that's the thing with Kai. It's like one game he's active, he's got the bit between his teeth, he wants it, and then another game he just goes completely missing. It's just an enigma. I don't know I have no idea what to do with Kai Havertz at this point. I mean, it's not going to be a long-term, it can't be long-term anymore, Kai Havertz starting up top, but he is a decent footballer, and I do like the, you know, this potential that he has, but at the end of the day, we need to see something unlocked now. We need to see something unlocked. So no goals, once again, same old story. Real Madrid didn't get out of second gear, and you know what? It wasn't even the quality players last night that were on show for Madrid. It wasn't It wasn't Modric, it wasn't Benzema, it wasn't even Vinicius, it was Rodrigo making himself busy, it was Valverde in the mid, it was Carvajal, it was Toni Kroos, it was Courtois, of course. It was just these players coming in. Militao, I thought was brilliant. Like, these guys won that game because all the attacking threat switched off for Real Madrid. They didn't really create many chances, but the defense was sturdy and kept them in it. And then when the chances came, they took them. Rodrigo took them, absolutely mocked it, really. The goals that he scored were absolutely mocking our efforts and our performance because they weren't in the game. And this Rodrigo, excuse me, has given us so many problems. I mean, he's the reason Chilwell gets sent off in the first leg. He's the goal that knocks us out last year. The ball from Modric, the outside of the boot, goal that everyone bangs on about. Fantastic goal, to be fair. Fantastic delivery. Modric, what a player. But he's given us a lot of problems. He's a very good player. Lightning quick. Talking about another lightning quick player, MUDRYK. He comes on. Again, why wouldn't we start with Mount and MUDRYK? I thought that would have just been I thought that just would make sense. I would have just gone Havertz, Mount, MUDRYK, attacking positions, make it work, figure it out. These are three players that can score, that have got an eye for goal, electrifying pace. Let's try and do something with that. We set up it was a very strange setup, wasn't it? Very strange. Overloaded the midfield, which I guess nullified Real Madrid in many instances, but no attacking threat, no potency at all. And these problems are always going to persist at the end of the day when we're tactically not astute. We've tactically got no idea what we are doing. We've got not a Scooby-Doo on what we're doing to score goals. I think Lampard has come in just to boost morale. Morale has not been boosted. We need tactics. These players need drills. We need the basics. We need so much, but we need a tactically astute manager to come in and look at these players and figure out what is the best way to score goals. Because all I've seen now with three managers, their best shot at scoring, the best idea that they have of bagging goals in a big game is Kai Havertz up front, false nine. That's three managers now. That's Tuchel, Potter and Lampard have all gone back to this. At the end of the day, this was Tuchel's idea. We won the Champions League with this game plan. Fair play. I don't understand what Potter and Lampard are doing with that. I think Kai Havertz is a great footballer, but you've got Fofana at the end of the day. I don't know if we registered him for the Champions League now. I'm not even sure. Probably didn't. We registered no striker for the Champions League, did we? Aubameyang got taken out. It was a mess. It was a mess from Jump Street. It's just going to be the same old story till we bring in some form of striker that we're going to be able to be patient with and score some goals and get a manager at the end of the day who is going to work with the team on scoring goals and get rid of the scruff that is in our squad at the moment. It's going to be key. And, the season is over, well and truly over. We might not play Champions League football until 2025, I reckon. I truly think Champions League football 2025, we will mark our return. It's going to be sad to see so many other teams there when we're not there. You're going to see Arsenal there. I think you're going to see Newcastle there. And it's just going to be back to the late 90s, back to the mid 90s where other teams were in Europe and we were just, watching on Europa. Whatever. I'd take Europa. I would have took Europa this season, honestly. No shame in Europa at all. Thursday nights are Europa nights. Great song. Great bloody song. I would have taken it. Forget it. Conference, forget it. Nothing. No Europe. Done out here. Pissed off, man. Pissed off. But that's it. Nail in the coffin. Could start getting a reality check because we need it. That little pep talk from Todd Bowley. Nice to see what that did at the end of the day. I do think we played well. I don't want to be too harsh. I think we played well, but no goals. So we didn't play that well. We didn't do that well. New manager, get him in at the end of the season. No point witnessing this mess. let the players go off for their little break in Ibiza and Mykonos and let them do all of that, and then come back and it's grind time, and hopefully a few players' contracts and situations, and we've sold a few. That's all been sorted, you know, by July, because that's all we can do at the moment, and that is what the board should be focusing on at this point. But guys, let me know what you think of that mess. I'm pretty sure I know what you think, but like this video if you can. It's a huge help. Helps me get this video to more people. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Trying to get to 100. It's a slow grind, but we're getting there. And yeah, leave a comment in the comment box. You know, I'm more than happy to talk about this mess that is Chelsea at the moment and figure it out. It's therapy. And I'll see you in the next one. What, Brentford in 8 days, I believe. Yeah, we've got to win at the end of the day. We won't, but that's the way it is. Guys, see you in the next one.